Hiya Squishers, and welcome back to Under the Stairs with me, Kate, with all the squish, yay! And today I am feeling like a tropical garden. It is very, very warm outside, like it has taken a sudden turn from being like raining all the time, to literally being so hot I can barely stand outside. So mostly today, because I am doing all the yarn dyeing, obviously, I've got some lightweight clothes on so that when I step outside, I'm like nice and dry, but also I get to throw on something like this to come and speak to you under the stairs about some squish, because I'm trying to cram as much colour into my life as I humanly possibly can, including some fancy new earrings. Well, I say fancy, but went shopping with the girls the other day, took them shopping with the birthday money, because actually we can go to shops now. And I saw these earrings that just reminded me of the ones I had when I was younger. And I can tell you a sad story of the earrings I never wore because I was never brave enough to wear them. Can you believe it? I had these most magnificent parrot earrings. And I never wore them because I was always thinking that people would be like, ooh, what you wearing? But who cares? Look at those. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to be like parrot earring spotting the next time I go shopping with the girls. But let's talk about colour in yarn. Yay! Because if you're on the Squishmail, Squishmail is where I'm telling you first about all the stuff that's going on, because life is just full. So I can squish you a squishy mail to let you know what I'm doing and the things I'm currently making. Now, you will also know if you're on Squishmail. If you're not, I have knit the grand total so far of 10 catelets. So far, I think that's only, I do know that there are other ones, but I haven't found them because I have been knitting catelets for a while. So I've been updating about my catelets in the Squishmail, and if you want to pop over to the blog, I journal some of the things I'm doing in the week, which involves a lot of colour. Now, after my catelet experience, the last one I cast off was in this beautiful Elmer at bedtime with some grey. It was just, so it had all the colours, all of the colours in one. But after I'd finished it, I was like, do you know, you just want the fun to stop? So I was like, well, how do I carry on the fun without knitting a brand new one? Because they're not a bit of a commitment, but I've kind of like missed the tiny tubes. Confession, I've missed the tiny tubes. So one of the things I've noticed about painting is it almost prolongs, I'm fidgeting my feet, it prolongs the joy. The experience that I have when I knit can be fleeting. It's done. Oh, you get to wear it, which is another experience of joy. You get to wear it, but painting it is almost like it turns my knitting into something different. It's almost like, do you know when you can take a picture of somebody and remember a day? It's like, this reminds me of the experience of knitting it. This is different than my other ones. Like, as you can see, it's not like a sunset. I don't know why I'm looking behind me. I do it all the time. There's stuff everywhere. I just saw Peggy Longlegs sticking out the back. Can you see her? Tiny tubes. Look, she's a tiny tube toy. So this one is what I went mad with colour. I was like, what would it look like if the sky looked like nothing you'd ever see ever in real life, but more like out of a storybook? Like, boom, this is what I did. But I just love these little bits here. Like I've written about it in my blog, how I just really enjoy seeing the silhouettes of the hedges around here. There's just something special about them. So I painted. And then I was like, there's so much colour. And then I was like, right, I'm going to do some deep dive stash discovery. And you're like, whatever, okay, what on earth is deep dive stash discovery mean? Well, it means that because I have so much yarn everywhere, as you'd expect, but seriously, and I also secret squirrel stash my yarn babies, because like there's some yarn that I remove from general circulation, and these are the things that I remove. So when we wind minis, there's little baby leftovers, and I keep those. So that's the perk of my squishy job. Full-time yarn dye, my perks are the scraps at the end, but I can tell you the scraps are the best bit. They really are, and I guess that's why I keep them. So during my deep stash diving, it looks like I'm sitting on the floor with piles of yarn in different weight categories, and I don't have to weigh them because I know them by eye. It's a bit like if you measure things often enough, you know what they look like. So taken a totally different tactic to normal. And normally I would stick them all on a giant bag, which I've shown you before in other videos, and then I don't have to hunt through them, which I like. But also there's a nice satisfaction about getting the thing you need straight away. So I thought maybe smaller bags, if I can see and easily, that keeps everything fresh, like untouched. Because when I'll show you. Imagine this, but the size of a quilt bag, and you're just like, oh wow, ooh. After a while, they all get a little bit unruly, and then it makes it hard to find out what you're trying to get out of a bag, and then you got to untangle them all, which I also enjoy doing. So I have been separating all of my squish into clear bags. This is just 2 bags I wanted to show you, because I separate them in terms of like tiny baby Scrappies, which are kind of like these ones. Like, I definitely recommend this technique if you're overrun and you just want to know what's there, because sometimes, like, I love putting them in bags. Sometimes I get carried away with bags, drawstring bags, bucket bags, and then I realise I've got like 30 bags and I have no idea what's inside them. But these ones are probably about 3 grams, 2.5. I'd say about 3 grams. So these ones are my 5 and less. In fact, I'd say they're more like 3 and less, because they're all teeny titchy ones. Whereas these ones are going to be more like 6 grams or even 5 grams. These ones. So I like, see what I mean? It is satisfying. Like, satisfying. What am I going to get? Is it going to be this one? This is a Gloria. So I know it's easier to see, and also I don't disrupt the pack too much. So these, there was the start. And I generally find that if I ever need to clear the decks, I start with finishing off projects that are on my wall, which is what I've started doing, just clearing them all off, knitting them all off, finishing them and putting them ready. Then I was like, oh, now I just want some fun knitting. And fun knitting for me is stuff that I can like whiz through, or whiz through but put down, pick up, whiz through, put down, pick up, which generally infers a long-term project but small wins within it. And for me, that looks like a scrappy tube. I've got one in each pocket because I like to travel. I like to travel with my yarn around the house because obviously I work, if you didn't know, I'm Kate. I yarn full time and I work from home, so everything is in my house, which means I can just like traverse from one room to another with some yarn in my pockets as my fingers dry, because it's terribly hard knitting with wet fingers. Have you tried it? It's quite hard. Scrappy tubes. Now normally my go-to is this tube, which is the Travelling Happy Knit Scrappy Tube, which is a free pattern on the website. Go and grab it. It's super easy and there's no fiddly bits to do. You just keep on going until you want to stop and then cast off. Now I like to do like keep on going and then keep on going and then cut them up into scrappy socks or whatever I fancy. But since I discovered the joy of tiny tubes and all the things that it holds for me, my mum introduced me to spirals, or shall I say the sock without a heel. Yes. And she made loads of these for me and the girls, and I was like, I want to make those. But you know, the bits I don't like is this bit and starting. I just haven't, not an aversion, but I guess when I want a project, I just want to just keep on going. But I guess cutting it up and adding those things is more work. You are correct. You are right. But I guess there's also like the bit that I like, I'm getting the most of, which is the non-stop knitting bit, which means that I can just pick up all the scrappies, boom, out of this bag, because these kind of ones, I like those little sizes because they're like nice small chunks. Like a 10 gram would probably you get quite a lot of a 10 gram, you know. I do have socks with like precise 5 gram measurements on them just so I can have an idea. But yeah, that's about 5 grams. This is going to be a big giant tube that I'm just going to carry on knitting, which is a spiral, and I can either make them into wrist warmers, which means I can also then try different colour palettes as I go along, because I used to do a long time ago, that I've only just remembered when I did surprise clubs back in the day. I would knit every colour that I made for the surprise club because they weren't available in the shop. I'd knit them all onto a sock so I could remember them. And it was a very useful thing for me to do because now when I look at the tubes, they are like my recipe book because I can look at them and go back and be like, oh, remember when? But these are going to just be whatever yarn because I don't do surprise clubs anymore. No. Or do... Surprise clubs were a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun. And they did produce some of my best colorways, like Elmer. Elmer's got to be Elmer. That was a surprise club. Elmer's bedtime, the one that inspired this. That's a surprise club color. I should maybe think about that one. Anyway, back to squish. This is a simple tube that you can do at home. It is very simple. You don't even do like the Scrappy spiral pattern that's in the website. This is a free pattern, download, go grab it. All I did with this that is different is I didn't do the ribbing at the top. I just cast the pattern block straight on. And this is a very simple alternation of 4 knit, 4 row, and you do blocks of 4, and then you just jilt them to the side 1 stitch, and then do another panel of 4. This is going to be ideal for me because then I'll be able to do some little videos showing you how to do it. I've also done some hats in spirals. I can't wait to show you. And I made them, this is going to be like, I made them big enough to cover my hair so that I would be like able to wear my hair as I wanted it to, stick the slouchy spiral hat on top and just be warm like everybody else because it is very easy to keep your head warm with big hair and scarves. So I do like that. So there you go, spiral tube. You can grab this pattern, have fun, pick up your scrappies, go mad and try this. I'm talking about the scrappies before I completely get sidetracked because I've got so many spirals here. If scrappies and babies are you fun? Is this fun? It is for me. If you love scrappies and minis and babies, I am also going to do a reminder that I will be shutting for Christmas, which is great because that means you would have got all of your squish by the time I shut, because that's the idea. By the time I'm taking my vacation for Christmas, I like the word vacation. We don't use that in the UK. My holiday, which is about a week. In Christmas, your squish would have been there. But Advents. If you're looking for an Advent gift that is just literally yarn, no extra bits and bobs, no bits and bobs and bits, but I packaged them. So like these were my original Advents when I started. Back in the day when the surprise clubs were my bag too, I did like those. I did like them. You can get a bag o' minis. Oh, there's a new colour in here that's in the shop too. I'm sure I put it in the shop. This one, denim ribbon candy. But I package them all up like this and you go, oh my gosh, what day is it? Who cares? I can pick whichever one I want. You can pick whichever one you want. And also no one's going to tell you off for opening more than one on the same day. So you can pick whichever number you want and I can wrap them and you'll be like, oh yeah, what have I got? This is what I quite like. I have done this for myself, like no lot. I did myself an Advent and I enjoyed it. What have I got? Hey, it's a rainbow sherbet. Check it out. See, you could have a surprise like that. Oh my gosh, squishes. There's so much colour everywhere, like these earrings. Look at them. Just... Can you believe I never wore my first pair? Where are they? Gone. Gone with the wind, gone with time, like everything else. Gone. Well, that's a quick little catch-up because, as you can see, there's lots going on. But if you want to find out about some of the catelets that I'm doing and a video that will be coming soon about all the catelets and lots of other squish, because there is a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of squish to cover, and I can't wait to do it with you. But until then, grab yourself some free scrappy patterns, do some stash diving, and have a lot of fun. And don't forget to subscribe to Squishmail. I've got some new spiral sock patterns coming out soon. Shh, with spots. And I shall see you soon. I'm so glad I'm coming to the stairs to see you. I'll see you next time. Bye.